All right, hello everyone. Happy Sunday. Welcome to an episode of Fangirlz Assemble. And thank you for waiting a little bit for us to start a little bit later than usual. But hey, on a Sunday,
Same day at least.
ageless.
Yeah. We nailed it. We got the day right. That's all we need, right?
We did. And we're here, special guest, Gabby. Thank you
Oh my
so
God,
much.
hello. Thank you so
We're
much
so
for
excited.
having me. I'm
You
really
know,
excited.
You guys usually just see Gabby in the comments, but now you get to see her beautiful face
Oh, thank
on
you.
the video.
Oh, thank you.
It's the best. She's real. She could have been catfish.
I'm blushing.
You don't know.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm currently obsessed with catfish, so I'm sorry.
I love catfish.
But it's
Kristan's
so good.
way in on it the latest season of Catfish.
Oh, it's so good. Have you not? If you haven't seen the latest season, okay, so Max is
No, I
gone.
haven't.
Max was great.
I know. I love
But
Max.
new girl
set.
Cammy, she's the best. I promise. It's like what the show needed. It's so good. Check it out. It's on Hulu.
I'll check it out. Yeah,
This isn't a plug for Catfish, though. It's actually a plug for InStockTrades.com. Our great sponsor.
Is that Catfish?
No, they don't catfish you. They upfront tell you what they got, and that's good deals, okay? It is great shipping. $50 or more, free shipping in the United States. What more could you want, honestly?
I don't know. Can I tell you what I got from IST?
Do
I
it.
picked up this book, beautiful. I mean, Blind by Cosmo Knights from IST, because I was looking to spend $50. I need another book. And you know what happens when you spend at least $50? You get free shipping.
That's right.
In the United States. Wild.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Crazy. Totally worth it. Thank you, IST, for bringing me this book that I would eventually read like a year later.
Love that. Love that for us.
Absolutely.
We're doing it. We're finally reading it. It's happening.
And now I'm so upset that I didn't, but also I'm kind of glad that I didn't because it's not done. So
yeah, that wait. I mean, I already feel the wait time.
Oof.
But if I'd done it before, yeah.
When is the new one coming out? Do we know?
Well, it's starting back, I believe, next month. You can go ahead and read part of book 2 online.
Yeah, it is a webcomic, so if anyone hasn't read it, you can check it out on Comixology Unlimited. It's a webcomic. I may actually have to follow it.
Let's jump right in. So we are talking about Cosmo Knights by Hannah Templer. So this is through Top Shelf Productions, but like the lovely lady said, this is a webcomic as well. So Hannah Templer is continuing this in September, even though part of book 2, this is book 1, is already out. I did go ahead and read it. It's not a ton in there, but you can read ahead if you subscribe to her Patreon. But man, I just thought, oh, this would be fun, whatever. I did not think, and I'm jumping into like what I thought about it a little quickly before we talk about what it is. I did not think that I was going to love this as much as I loved it. I had no idea how upset I would be when I was done, and I wanted more. I don't know about you guys.
I feel the same.
Yeah, I think it ended in a way that like made me like, what? Like I need the second one, you know? But I felt like the way that it ended, I was like, wow, that was really good. Like I wasn't like upset. I was just more like enthusiastic and excited.
So
like how is this going to continue? That's how I felt when I was reading it.
And oh my gosh, my cat is losing it. So she is in my new chair. She can't get up on there like she does with this. So she's taking advantage of me being in the basement. So yeah, Cosmo Knights is a very familiar kind of story, but also very different. So these Cosmo Knights,
yeah, I agree.
There are these tournaments held in space where these different champions, usually as like a champion for someone else, are able to fight in a tournament in like giant mech suits. Thank you, Robin. Really appreciate it. In order to win a princess to bring back to their sponsor. So if you've seen even like a Knight's Tale, think a Knight's Tale or any other sort of like fantasy Arthurian sort of thing, any jousting. Imagine jousting but in space. So you have this system where I guess they have no shortage of princesses in space at this point. Interesting.
That's the impression I got. I was like, that's a lot of princesses.
Monarchies to continue then, but it is what it is. But the story, so that's sort of just like what the background is of this. But the story centers around this younger girl, Pan, who basically is best friends with and more this friend of hers who is a princess, and she does not want to be married off to some rando, and so she escapes, or she helps her escape. And they've been separated for several years, but eventually Pan kind of gets introduced to this crew right here, these two strong individuals next to her, who are basically, they go into tournaments, they enter, they pretend that they are fighting for some sort of sponsor. They win these tournaments, they win the princess with the intention of saving the princess and taking that princess to like a different part of the space to be independent and not have to be forced into some marriage. So they kind of get all together, and that's sort of what the premise very quick is. Which I loved, you guys. I'm a sucker for like feudal Renaissance fantasy anything, but you put it in space with a bunch of ladies, I'm like like the minute I wish I read everybody's names. Because I read this early, which is a problem.
I did too, and I'm looking through now.
But when the very muscular lady showed up, I was like, done. So cool. She's so cool.
She's very badass. Very badass.
Oh, what is her name? Jaws or like
Cass.
Tooth or something, right?
Well, Cash, I think Bull is her name.
That's it.
In the competition.
This is why we have you, Gabby, for the facts.
Yeah, it's very fresh.
You got it.
It's very fresh in my mind. So
Yeah, I never read a book ahead of time, like on purpose. But there was something about this. I was like sitting. I was like, let's just try it out. And by the end of it, I could not stop.
I think you and I both accidentally did that, and then we talked about it immediately.
We already talked about it. What? Maddie likes the muscular lady. Weird. I just love her.
Not on brand. It's not.
Ever since I was young, any sort of like female character that I feel like didn't match the mold, the ones that decided to become princes instead of being princesses, I just have a lot of admiration for. Like some Sailor Scouts and Utena. This is very common, like anime and manga. But immediately I was like, yes, this is it. And I think if you're a Star Wars fan too, you could probably see something in this you'd admire, because you have this like planet that Pan lives on, right? And she works on mechanics with her dad. So she works on these suits. She works on spaceships, and her mom's a doctor. And she's kind of in a planet that's going nowhere, because it had a monarchy there, but after she helped the princess escape, her best friend, the planet just kind of went to shit, for lack of a better word. And so she's just doing like menial jobs, mechanic jobs, until there's a tournament on the world, and she runs into this duo saving princesses, and it's like, well, I'm just gonna jump their ship, which is like the most Star Wars thing she could do.
Yeah,
I felt like
so true. As
a newbie Star Wars fan, I'm like, yes, this is something I recognize. So yeah, I was curious, like, what you guys, we kind of covered initial thoughts, but like, I'd love to hear more about how you guys felt about the beginning, these characters, like favorite bits, etc.
Okay. Yeah. So I think like one of the first scenes where she helps the princess escape. I think her name is Tara. Tara, I think.
I think that's right.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if that's like her like actual name, or maybe I don't know. But yeah, Tara. I think Tara's her name. And she's trying to help her escape like this whole world so that she doesn't have to marry a sponsor. And then all of a sudden they're like arresting Pan, and I was like, this just at first like it just seems like very like, oh, like this wholesome friendship that we have going on, and then that like dynamic scene, like, oh my, like this girl is gonna be arrested, like they're like put your hands up, like where's the prince, like what'd you do to the princess? I was like, where is this going? I think that when that happened, I was like hooked.
Yeah.
Like, because I was like, okay, this is like, we have like an important goal, like, what's going on, you know? So that's where I was like, yeah, this is good.
Yeah, it feels like a lot of like I feel like it feels very reminiscent of a lot of like post-apocalyptic YA things that probably all of us have read or seen, whether it be like books or
Absolutely.
movies or TV shows. Like this sort of like circumstance in and of itself is something that's a very familiar thing, where you have like the person on land who's not as important as far as like, you know, rank or class or whatever, sacrifices themselves for like this person that they love or are very good friends with. We don't know for sure.
Oh, we know.
We know.
Girl, we know.
Yeah, we
I mean,
know.
it does say for this ragtag band of space gays on the back of the book.
I mean,
Oh, I didn't even. I wish they had that somewhere.
I
Like,
know.
in the digital.
that's a good. What's the whole quote? Can you read it real
Oh,
quick?
it's very good. For this ragtag band of space gays, liberation means beating the patriarchy at its own game. That's the only bit you get at the back of this book.
Hell yeah, that's all you need.
I know.
That's great. That's perfect.
Perfect sum up. Like, it summarizes it perfectly. You don't need anything else. Yeah.
But yeah, this first scene even could translate so well in like I remember talking to Kristan about it. It could translate so well into like a Netflix cartoon. Like if you needed the successor
Really, yeah.
like She-Ra or Dragon Prince or anything else, like this is like the next step, absolutely. Or a CW show.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It's the
I'm a
perfect
sucker for
combination.
CW.
Yeah, in the best
Yeah.
way. A CW show
Yeah.
in the best way. I also love CW trash. So-
I fall right into it. Right into it.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Love
Kristan,
that. Yeah, I'm ready for the CW show. We need that. We need that. It is sad. I feel like we talk about this a lot, but like, you know, this does have like a lot of tropes we all love. We've all seen. They're played out, but like done in a great way. And why is the unique factor just make it ladies? Let's just turn it on its head
I
and make
know,
it ladies,
right?
and we're all like, okay. Like it's kind of sad though, right? Like why hasn't?
I love
Like,
that.
it's a unique thing that they're ladies. Yeah, I
Yeah.
totally get it.
But I mean, it is the
I don't know if
best.
that's
It's the best
wonderful
part.
Or like sad that just doing that's enough to me to be like, wow.
Yeah, and we're so
Even-
excited about it, which we
even
should
that
be.
lady
It's so
that
good.
comes later, right? You're like the one that's
Yeah.
like the tricksty, like or
Yeah.
tricky rogue
Mhm.
type of character. This character that like is too
Maybe evil.
but maybe not anti-hero. We don't
Mhm,
know.
mhm. Yep.
But making that a woman too, you're like,
Yep.
yeah.
I'm like, okay, you. Why
would
haven't
like to
we seen
dress
this
like
before?
you.
Yes.
Yeah, like, what I think was even cool, like, what was even cooler was that they revealed that they were ladies, like, after the whole, like, joust, like, the first, like, thing. And you think, like, oh, these guys, and, like, the way that it was narrated is, like, he's coming up, like, he's coming down on him, right?
Mhm.
And it's, like, right after, you see, like, the reveal, you see, like, Cass, and, like, and they're women, which is so cool. And I was like, that is really badass.
And it makes you
I love
realize
that.
the assumptions of the narrators for these games, the viewers of the games, and even us as readers. Because we were all probably like, yeah, these dudes, right? Like,
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I was reading it. I was like, okay, these
so it
guys.
makes you
Okay,
go,
okay.
oh, I'm glad it's not. But like,
Oh yeah.
And
And,
then
they
I-
could have.
yeah.
here's where, yeah, because that's the
Hannah
typical
could have
thing.
gone like A Knight's Tale or whatever and just have it be the regular dudes being
Mm-hmm.
a couple dudes being guys, you know.
Yep.
But the reveal factor, I think, was why it was so cool. I think, because like I feel like if they revealed it first, like, and I think it would have still been cool if they, okay, like they're ladies fighting, right? But the fact that
Yeah.
they like narrated it like in like from like a male perspective, like okay, like this whole dynamic thing, and then they revealed like, oh, they're women. I think that's what made it so much more like it gave it that like effect of like, yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it shows
as
you
far
how
as
like
anybody
strong they
knows.
are.
People don't know
Yeah.
that Cassie Cable is a woman at all. Like regular
Yeah.
people outside, like she has presented herself in a way that would not be, even if she's out normally without the whole getup, they would not know. Which I thought was very interesting. And
Yeah,
also, I want to really dig into her.
I was gonna say her backstory is so good.
I loved it. I think that's probably my favorite part of the book, or like seeing one of my favorite parts of the book was like just reading like her backstory and how she became like who she is, and, like how she was telling Pan, like kind of like reminiscing, like okay, this is how I this is how I came here. This is how I'm here today. Like, that was awesome. I loved reading it.
Yeah, it's very like brave. I'll be fighting for my own hands
Yeah. Yeah.
sort of deal. Yeah, which is great because you see this woman, like you don't expect her to be a princess automatically, which kind of felt very Adventure Time also because you have all these princesses
Yeah.
that are different. Um, but you have Cass talking about her story where she's like, yeah, like after she talks to Pan and Pan has like the amulet, which you can only get after winning a princess, and Cass has one as well on her, and they've also collected them through the tournaments. And Cass is like, oh, so that's really special. Like, that means a princess has given you her favor. And goes into her backstory, which is wonderful, where she's like, you know, the one girl of like a ton of sons, but she's still just as hard. She still fights just as much. She's just as muscular. And it comes time for her to be, you know, what her mother expects her to be, this like princess who's to be won. And she's like, hey, you fought, it was good, but like, this is your place. And she's like, no,
Yeah, I remember
it's
that.
not.
And then yeah, I think when her dad was saying like, oh, I thought that you were just like kind of like comfortable in your life, but like I'm really happy to see like how hard you're working when they're like fighting, when she's like practicing fighting.
Yeah.
And then you see her like go up to her mother, and her mom's like, what are you doing? Why do you look like this? Like, she's like, I thought I did a good job. Like, after like her dad says like, okay, I'm proud of you, she goes to her mom and is like, no, this is not. No.
Yeah, which is still sad,
No
right? Because her dad is all about it, but still does nothing to change like the circumstance of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of that reminded me of like Oscar and Rosa Versailles, right? Because like
Yeah.
Oscar was raised to be like fight with her dad, and that's what her dad wanted, and you know that was the whole thing. But then there's still society who's like, but you're a woman and you can't do this or that.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Basically raised just like the sons are until a certain point. We're like, ooh,
Mhm.
you know, you're 18.
Now we need you to be the princess. We need you to look a certain way.
Yeah, you need to go get married.
Mhm.
Thank you. But I love that whole circle. I mean, like, it's not a new story. Certainly. You know, like, a very strong woman who's a princess, like, these knights are going to fight for her hand, but she pretends to be the knight and wins the tournament. That's a story we've seen before. It doesn't make it any less cool.
No, and this was like, it was really uniquely told, you know, and I gave a crap about every character.
Yeah.
Like, even the anti-hero lady who's maybe a villain, I was like, what's her deal? Like, I was all about it.
She
I
really
really
likes
liked her
Ocean's
too.
11.
Yes, 100% that. Yeah, she's great.
And I love Cass's wife too, a lot. Like, we learned that, like, what, they were already together, basically. They've already had this relationship established, but they chose to, like, well, basically Cass chose, and you know, she was in on it.
It's like follow and like help her. Yeah.
Yeah, but I would love.
Like, I'm done.
Yeah, she's like, okay, I'll be there. I'll have my ship
Like,
ready.
I don't really want to do this anymore, but okay, I guess.
But I'm dying to learn more about her in the next books as well.
Yeah, she definitely had like the lesser role of the two.
Yeah, I'd like to see her more fleshed out, because you don't just like meet a princess and have these like skills and go on this like princess saving duo. She's got to have some more to her.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
for sure. And I can't wait. Like, hopefully next volume
Oh man.
we get to see them reunite from the beginning, right? Because like, you know, it's gonna happen. Right?
I've read what's there so far, and I am definitely desperately waiting for it.
So you're still waiting.
There's not much. I'm gonna tell you
Okay.
this, so that way that
Okay.
like no spoilers to anybody. There's not a lot up on the website. I don't know about the Patreon for book 2 yet.
You see, I'm the kind of person that just likes to wait until everything comes out, and then I just like to just read it, like, just like kind of like binge read things, like how I am with shows.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I kind of just like to watch everything, like just binge it when I want to, instead of waiting like weeks. Like, okay, next week, you know. But yeah, I think what you were saying, Kristan, about like, oh no, what you said, what you were saying, Maddie, about how like you want to see more about Cass's wife. I think she like mentioned how she knew the owner of like this. I don't know what it was, like a kind of like a restaurant type of deal, like in this like city, in like the space city. She's like, oh, I know them. I know them back in the day. Like the girl that helped them escape from her name. I think her name was Kate.
You're probably
The
right.
one like the bad. She's kind of bad, but also good.
Yeah.
So she was saying that she knew those people like back in the day, and like, so I guess like maybe I think it would be cool to see like what that's all about, and like why, you know, like what her relations are with them. Maybe.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, we should dig into that girl then. We should dig into our girl. Let me see if I can't find
I'm looking right now.
the picture of her, because, and actually you can buy, so Hannah Templar does have like an imprint store. I've even looked at imprint before, because Tilly Walden has some stuff, another big comic book artist, but she has an imprint store in which she has prints of all of these main characters that are really cool. I want to find that one where she's sitting in the chair, because there's tons of good pictures, but when they show up back on the ship and she's just there, is the best one. Oh my gosh.
These big like space shots, the art is just like perfect for it, especially with the colors, right? Like everything. I love the simplistic but really nice art style throughout this.
Absolutely. It reminds me of, okay, I can't find everything, but I can find at least like that little snippet of her face.
I remember that. I like this too. It's not as like it's not as clear because it's like an iPad.
Cool.
But this page, I thought it was so cool.
The expressions are just perfect in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everybody at home, like the color in all of this is fantastic. Like the style of art reminds me a lot of Heavy Vinyl.
Yeah.
AKA Hi-Fi Fight Club.
Which, Gabby, you should read because it's so good.
Oh my god, so
It's
good.
just 2 volumes.
Who wrote it? I'll write it down.
We're both like, wait, who did write it?
Tell me
I
all the
can't remember
details.
it.
I'm looking on my bookshelf. Wait.
Carly something, right?
I believe that you were right.
Carly Ustin?
Why don't I see it? Did I lend that to
And
someone?
what is it called again?
Heavy Vinyl. So there's 2 trades. So it's Heavy Vinyl and then Heavy Vinyl Y2KO.
Oh, I have it right here.
And it's this group of girls, and they're in this fight club, basically.
Yeah, Carly Ustin or
Oh.
Ustin.
Yeah, and they work at a record store. That's where the
It's
vinyl
so
comes
good.
in.
I love that. I love the art too. I like it.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's so good. Can I go ahead, by the way? So this Kate woman, that's
Yes.
her name, right? Can I go ahead and fan cast her?
Yes.
Kate McKinnon.
Yeah.
Can we? Can we just? Right?
You know.
How did you think of that so quickly?
I just was staring at her in
Did you
this,
think
and I
of
was
that
like,
just now?
Kate McKinnon.
Okay.
Yep, it's happening.
I'm about it. And I like her. I'm dying to hear more about her because I wanted to dig into her a lot because I really like what she has to bring to the table. I don't know that I completely trust her, but I also like that she approached the group that was like, hey, I've been following you guys, big fan of your work, but this whole just saving princesses thing isn't enough to make a change. That's cool that you're doing that, mad props, but the bourgeoisie, the rich people, nothing is changing. The system isn't changing by you doing this. I was like, yes, get them. She's like, you guys are good. Let's make this better.
Yeah, that was the
love
perfect
it.
twist to it, right? Because that's true. Like if this were like an actual galaxy and they were going around and doing this, yeah, it's making small changes, but like ultimately people are still fighting over these princesses. Like it's still a thing where they can get married off to whoever has the most money or whatever, whoever wins this fight, and then that's their life. But let's make some systematic changes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where no one's getting like a complete like gash in the side anymore.
Oh.
Like where no one has to like bleed to death.
Yeah, they could easily die any second during any one of these battles, and then what? No one else is doing this, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what I'd like to see, this is my hope for the future, is because right now we have not seen where they have dropped off all of the princesses that they have saved. One, I want to see what those princesses are doing now, because I think that'll be really interesting. Because I'm assuming you have a bunch of just like very well-educated, trained in some way princesses that were saved that can use their skills as something else. Ideally, I would form like a whole crew, a whole team of
A
these
princess army.
a princess army.
Yeah.
To help dismantle the system. That's what I want from the future of this.
Mm-hmm. La la Buffy season 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
Absolutely. How about you guys? That's what I want. Well, I want our girls to be reunited.
I'm waiting for that. I feel like. Do you think she'll drag it out, or is she gonna give us a little tidbit next time? Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Because she could drag it out absolutely, but I think at some point, again, since we're a CW show, at this point we would at least see the other girl,
right?
And we have to kind of like know what they're both doing and just us agonize over until they get back together.
I will say the pacing in this was very good. I never felt like anything was too slow or too fast. It was kind of perfect. So whatever Hannah decides to do is going to be great.
So what about you, Gabby? What do you want, or what do you predict of the future of Cosmoknights?
I agree with you. I would love to see all those girls band together. I actually didn't think about that. Like, well, I did when I was reading it. I was like, yeah, where are these girls going? Like, where are they? Like, you're just told that, like, okay, like, Cass is winning these tournaments and, like, kind of, like, saving them so that they don't have to get married to someone they don't know and kind of live a life of independence. But we don't know where they're going. Like, what kind of life are they living? Are they in some kind of hiding? You know what I mean? They have to be.
Do they follow through when they drop them off? They have a system in place.
Well, and didn't we learn that like some of them were like, "Wait, what's happening?" Like, so the reactions were varied, right?
The one princess that they do save during this, we see
her.
She's kind of not great. From what we see, she's kind of like not thankful. But she doesn't know what's happening yet. I would not be surprised if that one takes a bit. If maybe they're dealing with a princess who's not thankful at all, and they have to think through that. Because that makes sense, right? Because there's got to be some of these that are either like totally fine with it, or they've been brainwashed into the system, or whatever, however you want to put it. Where you save them and they're like, I didn't ask for this.
Yeah, like, where's my husband?
I had my whole life planned. This is this is what I was like. My whole life was like leading up to this. Why'd you just? I didn't this is what I want. This is what I'm gonna do.
I've been trained for this scenario.
Yeah,
you just ripped it out from me.
I would like some side stories of some of these like one-off princess tales and what ends up happening, like their identity crisis after this, right? Trying to figure out their life on whatever other planet, because they're also moving from part where they've probably been all their life. That must be jarring. Yeah,
there's so much here, and like I'm glad that Top Shelf is doing this. Honestly, Boomer Image should have picked this up and ran with it. Because I also know that Hannah Templer also worked on Glow, the comic book based on the TV show Glow on Netflix.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Which I'm dying to read now because I loved this. But really all I want is for someone to fully fund Hannah to just do this forever. I want cartoons so bad. There's no reason why Netflix shouldn't. She-Ra, fine. Sure. Cool. Whatever. I want Cosmoknights now. This is what I want.
Let's start a petition. Let's do it old school.
And I want to cosplay this so bad. And I'm like, okay. Immediately I was like, okay, I want to cosplay this. How do I convince all of my friends to get into this? And cosplay this thing that only has one book out right now.
That maybe some other people have read.
Yeah.
I love that.
I need it.
I'm in.
So bad. And Lee, I don't know if you're just hanging out to listen or if you've read it, but please read it. I really think you'd like it. And Christina,
for sure.
Hello.
Hey.
I am sure that based on what I know about your current profession, you are also just as busy as me right now. I'm glad that you loved Cosmo Knights. I'm glad you were hanging out. Okay, let's see what else to discuss. So we didn't really dig too much into Pan except for, what the beginning is. But I think it's good to talk about her, because right now I feel like Pan is more of like, besides the beginning, is us kind of like a character for us to like cling to as we're learning about everything. But I'm very interested in her and her style, and I love the admiration she has for Cass when she first shows up. And I can't tell if it's just like here's a badass woman doing this thing, or because she says something like, I didn't know women could be like you, right? Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, is that you admiring her like job, or is that you admiring that she has a wife?
At the back, for this ragtag band of it does say that.
That's why it's great. I like that she's very much like, this is what the book is.
It is perfectly said. Yep, and Pan is perfectly done, right? Because you're right, like she's our vessel to like learn everything with her. But I love her attitude and her interest in getting out of where she is too. She's like, I want to change stuff. She started she was changing stuff before she knew that was a cool thing, right? Yeah. Before she knew anyone else was at all trying to save princesses, she was like, I did that. That's fine. So, she just wanted to help her girlfriend.
Who may have not made it through.
We know she did, though, right?
By the end.
Because we know that something happened when she first got there, and she was in a panic.
Yeah, that's true, because she got the message, right?
What do you guys think happened? Because, I mean, bummer for her that this took 5 years to get to Pan.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We don't know what has happened since then. Mm-mm. And why she's receiving it right now.
Do you think they're going to set up like a... I guess it has to end up being like a saving story, right? Something's going on with her, and she ends up having to...
Makes sense. It makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, try to like save her again.
I bet so. Because I don't know where she's going to be. I keep trying to think, like, if she's having this panic moment, does she get out of this and we find her much later, or does she get captured and kind of like put into the system again? But if she was put into the system, I feel like people would know. And like, if she was like made into a princess, we would know again.
Yeah,
but like
people on her planet would find that out or something, right?
Yeah,
because it was such a big deal there.
Oh man,
there's a lot of ways it could go. But it does. You mentioned I think when you and I were talking about it, this is kind of very on a sunbeam in some senses, which we also love and adore. Yeah, and Gabby, you should read it.
We're talking about Tilly Walden's On a Sunbeam. We are huge fans of Tilly Walden.
Everything she's ever done.
Primarily. I do recommend a lot.
So good.
I saw. Did she write Waves? I think I saw it on Comicsology.
Waves was someone else. That was someone else.
Spinning is I don't know why I'm doing this. It's not a beauty blender. Spinning is her autobiographical one. That's really good. But On a Sunbeam is very much like this. It's like space
so
epic.
Good. Space gaze. But it's the same.
It's not fleshed out in the same way this is. But I don't know how to describe it. Once you read one Tilly Walden book, I can describe every Tilly Walden book to you, but
in the best way, though. Yeah. Please just pick it up.
Yes,
it's so
Joe.
good.
Are you listening?
Oh yeah,
also fantastic.
It's so good. Man,
Joe, do you have those? Can you lend them?
Yeah, just throw them to her.
I don't even know anymore. I don't even know.
Come on, Joe, get with it. But yeah, it's very much that. I feel like if Tilly Walden, if somebody took On a Sunbeam by Tilly Walden and gave it the She-Ra treatment, it would be Cosmoknights.
That's it. That's the mashup. Yeah, On a Sunbeam is definitely more low key, There's not battles and stuff. It's the same emotions, though. Like, you're going to feel a lot of feels.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Imagine Cosmo Knights, but Wes Anderson made a book. Then you have Tilly Walden's on a sunbeam.
I like that. Yeah,
that's the best way I can describe it.
Okay.
And if Wes Anderson liked having female diverse leads,
Uh-oh.
because he doesn't. I can, as a Wes Anderson fan.
Get with it. Get with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know. Oh man, I don't even know what else to discuss about this. This is the problem. It's so good. I'm surprised we talked 40 minutes.
Yeah, it's good, but like we only have the trade, right? So there's only so much here. We can speculate a lot, which we have. Yeah. I'm ready for more. I'm like Gabby. I like to binge stuff. I like to wait around, but I think I'm gonna maybe try to read this as it comes out. I just want to know what happens.
You know, when I was reading this, I thought that Kate was gonna be like this crazy villain that did something super bad that like they had to like oh no, like that was gonna be like the turning point of the book. Like the main focus now is like, okay, like she has some information that, well, she does have information, but she's not trying to like use it against them, which I thought that she was going to try to do. Like, oh no, like, because everything in the book was very like, okay, like you had some struggle, but everything like it overall had like a lighthearted kind of like, I think, well, despite like the blood, like how Cass like got very like terribly like beaten up and like just bloody, and despite that I felt like everything was very kind of like lighthearted, dynamic, epic. That's kind of like the vibe I was, getting. So I was expecting someone to just turn it around and just like send all of their worlds crashing, right? And I mean in ways like it is like these princesses are being like kind of like married off to people that they don't know, and that's like really sad and a tragedy as like by itself. But I expected, like this villain to just really like completely like turn the book around, and it didn't happen, right? She ended up siding with them. But that was an interesting twist.
I think it's still, I don't know, because I feel the same way, and I really love her, and I like the way she's approaching this, but I don't know, I feel like I'm going to be always cautious of her forever.
Yeah, me too. Mm-hmm. Me too.
Well, and
I just assume she's going to like...
She begins everything with a lie, too, right?
Yeah.
Like, she clearly knows way more than she's telling Pan. She's already clocked Pan. She knew who Pan was. What's that about, P.S.? I don't think we ever figured that out.
No, she's like, I'm just going to help you unlock your little princess necklace just because. One, how do you know how to do that? Mm-hmm. And like, two, why are you just doing it to be nice?
Yeah, that's where I suspected it. Like, what are you going to do right now? Like, something's going to happen right now. Nothing did. Yeah. I was like, okay.
Like, is she actually helping them to help, like, overthrow the whole system because she believes that, like, the rich people, are doing too much? Or is she doing that to, like, position herself in a place of power eventually?
Or is she a spy?
I mean... Or maybe it's a super red herring, and actually she's working for Pan's girlfriend.
Oh, and that's how she would know who Pan is, girl. Yes. You solved it.
That would be a twist. That I would not expect at all.
That would be cool. Now I'm going to be upset because there's no way it's that cool. And
I don't know. It could be that cool. This was pretty cool.
That would be cool. This is what I get stuck in, though. I don't know if you guys are like this when you watch movies or read books, where, like, I'm constantly trying to guess what the big switch is going to be.
Where's the twist? Yeah.
Yeah. I always do that. I'm very scarred by everything I've seen. So all the evil I've watched, all the evil things I've seen, like, you just think that everyone's evil and that someone's going to turn around and just, like, betray everybody. And that's what I expected in this. But
then if their twist isn't as cool as what you thought of in your head, I get upset. I'm like, have done this.
You can't be so good at twists then, Maddie. That's what it is. You're just too good at it.
It's a curse. And I blame the first Saw movie because ever since then, I've been just chasing that high.
I don't even know what that means.
That twist. Have you ever seen Saw?
No, that's
Oh
why
my
I'm like, I'm
God.
not familiar with this
Kristen!
reference.
Okay, please watch Saw.
I know you love them. I haven't
Really
seen
do.
one.
Just watch the
No.
first one.
Okay.
Don't be like me and get sucked in the whole series.
You can't go back.
I can't. It's worth it, but also I'm like, man, there were some duds. But I'm stuck now.
Okay.
I'm stuck in the show or the movies forever. Hayden said, I gave up trying to figure out twists after investing too much time into freaking Pretty Little
Oh,
Liars.
Hayden, I was there with you until the end where I was like, forget it, I'm done. Forget all y'all, I'm done.
Yeah, I never watched it.
I never watched that. I never
got
watched
into
that.
it. Hayden, I'm there with you.
Christina asked, what's the next installment? Have you guys heard? I believe September. You know what? Let me, instead of just saying things, let me yes. Book 2, I have the website open. Book 2 updates will resume in September. Currently, there are 25 pages of book 2 out on the website.
Oh, that's not enough.
Yeah.
This thing was like over 200.
Before we get to the just chilling part of the show, I have a question from James. Kristan, is that a new book behind you by the famous Reed Chancellor, Diabetes, on the cover? I don't remember seeing that cover before. Well, Kristan, please share.
That's right. This is Diabetes is for Lovers. It's Reed's new book. Let's see. Let me make sure I got this right. 25% of all profits goes to T1 International, who believe in insulin for all, how it should be, and not $1 million to get something that costs nothing to make. And by nothing, I mean very little. Reed is a type 1 diabetic, so these are like short stories about his life, dealing with diabetes, and that's what it is. I think it may be up in his store envy. I'm not sure. He's not here right now to tell me otherwise. If it's not, it will be soon. So you could Google Reed Chancellor store envy if you want to check it out. But yeah, goes to a great cause, good stories, and he did this, and I like the cover a lot.
And check out his Twitter or whatever, where I feel like you posted about it.
Yeah, Twitter, he's at Reed Chancellor. Instagram, at Reed Chancellor. There's a cute picture of him with Buffy, or one of our cats.
Aww.
She sits in his lap while he draws all the time, and it's the cutest.
That's so cute.
I love that.
Oh, not in the store yet. Good. I wasn't sure if Reed was watching. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Reed. Get it in the store, Reed.
Reed, can you post where people can find it? Thank you. So, you guys, I don't know about you. I give this a 10 out of 10. We don't have to rate it because this isn't my Tuesday show, but I just want people to know that I gave it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, 5 out of 5 on Goodreads for me. That's what I did, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. I loved it. It was great. I had so much fun reading it.
Awesome. Well, we'll come back for book 2 whenever that is.
Absolutely.
I would love that.
Please make merch. Hannah Templar, if you're watching this, which would be cool if you were. And if you ever want to hang out in the show, you can. I just want merch. I am definitely going to buy some prints off of InPrint of this because it's too good.
Yeah, you have to. I would love like one of those members only jackets that like Pan wears, and like on the back it says Cosmo Knights.
Oh my god!
Y'all need to talk to me for merch ideas. Yes, we would all. Ooh, we could all like wear them for the next book. Come on, Hannah. So what are we doing?
Guys, group cosplay. what concert are Hannah gonna be at? Also, every con, if all the cons could go ahead and just put in like a vaccine requirement plus mask, so I could feel safe.
I mean, really cool. New York's doing it right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, New York, you have to prove you're vaccinated.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
To go into Comic-Con, yeah.
That's wonderful, because I'm pretty sure our local one is not.
Ooh, girl, no.
I know.
You know it's not.
They suck.
Yeah.
But I really want to go to a con. Like, I want to go to a Comic-Con this year really bad. So I'm trying to like suss out which ones I feel okay with. Like, because C2E2's in December this year, but I don't know anybody else is going. I've never been to New York, but I would go because you're there. Because you and your dad are the only people I know in New York.
Yeah, Comic-Con, I think you have to wear masks. They require you to wear masks and be vaccinated. I think it's both.
I like that.
So, yeah.
I am about that. We had a local anime convention recently, but like people weren't, from what I saw from pictures, people weren't wearing masks. And I was like, nah.
Mm,
I'm good.
You know, like semi,
good.
like some people, yeah. Yeah, thank you.
nice. Doing it right.
Yep.
So,
Confirming.
it's the end of the show, so now we just hang out. What are y'all up to? What are you reading? What are you watching? What are you checking out? What's new?
I mean, I just
Okay.
got catfish on my TV all the time. It's bad. It's bad, guys.
It's like in the back. Do you like watch it, or like is it like kind of in the
Oh,
background, like a little bit both,
I
or
watch it because I can't handle not watching it because I have to know what happens.
it's
Here's the
very
thing.
intense? Yeah.
Yeah, like years ago, I got really into catfish, and then I dropped off at some point, and I definitely missed this last season when he got a new co-host, and it's so good. And there's like 32 episodes of this last season up, and it's not even done. There's a lot going on.
I'm gonna watch it just because of you. I'll put it on the
You
background
have
at work.
to do it.
What about you, Gabby? So, what have you been reading, watching? You're going back to school soon, so you gotta get into
Okay.
the free time.
Reading and watching. Okay, so right now I just read the Tea Dragon Society
Oh, it's
and
so
the Tea Dragon
good.
Festival.
Yay!
Hey, Joe, I know
Did
you're
you love it?
watching. Joe, can you please
Very
get your
amazing
daughter the
book.
board games? Thank you. Okay, continue.
Oh, they're so
You know,
good, right?
I would love to play it. I feel like I would have to explain, like, okay, this is based on a book that I read and really liked. Like, I'd have to like kind of give like a whole context, like because I have to. Like, if I read the book and loved it, I would have to explain, like, this is
Oh yeah.
this. You see this was in the book that I read. Like, okay, I just want to play a game. You
Make
know?
everyone else read it. Be like, I don't even care if y'all
Yes.
don't read. You're reading it now.
Damn.
Yeah, those are amazing. I flew by them.
Good.
What else? What am I reading now? I just read Cosmo Knights. I read Sheets. So
Okay.
I have to read Delicates. I haven't read Delicates yet.
So good.
What else? Watching. What am I watching? So okay, I'm trying to watch all of like the Defender shows on Netflix, like
Oh, yeah?
Daredevil and like the Defenders
Oh
and all that.
man, props to
So it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen anytime soon. I can't finish them all. It's just
Jessica
very
Jones season
it's
1.
unrealistic.
Just do that. Do that
That's
one.
it?
That's it. Just do that one, please.
Why it's
At
not
least.
good past one. It's not good past season 1.
you. I didn't get into. I watched all of Jessica Jones.
I don't think I ever went to season
Okay.
2.
I didn't get into any of the other ones. I tried really hard.
Really? Daredevil
Yeah.
was
I think
good.
I
I
did.
think Daredevil was really good.
I liked what I saw of Daredevil.
Yeah, I feel the same. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
good what I saw. I think I did finish Jessica Jones. I never watched any Defenders, the actual show. I didn't watch. What else was there?
Daredevil,
I don't know. The other
Luke
ones.
Cage, and
Didn't watch Luke
Iron-
Cage.
No one watched Iron Fist.
No, no one did. So people in the chat would be like, "I watched Iron Fist." Okay, good for you, but I didn't.
I'm very reluctant to be honest, but like I saw Daredevil like the first 2 seasons, and then I was gonna watch the 3rd season, but then everyone around me was telling me, "Okay, you need to watch the Defenders because this like season 3 comes after the Defenders, so you need to watch that and like know what's going on." So I watched the Defenders, so now I have to watch Daredevil season 3. It's like I have this goal to like watch everything Marvel, and it's not gonna happen.
I understand.
It's not.
It's a whole.
It
try.
is.
I have like FOMO when it comes to like movies and
Yes.
books. Like I want to read and watch everything that everybody else is, and it's just not working. Like there's no way.
Absolutely.
I'm only one person.
It's
Yeah, there's
so hard.
so much out now too. Like Christina apparently just marathon Mayor of Easttown, and I'm still recovering. It's so good. You both.
Oh, I watched it all.
Yeah, I know. You know.
Well, my mom binge watched it. I didn't see it, but
Oh,
I told
it's
her
so
to watch it, but I didn't watch it.
So good.
She's like, "What do you like recommend?" I'm like, "I hear that Mayor of Easttown is good. Maybe you check that out." It's okay, and then I didn't watch it, but she did.
Well, when it's the summer,
I'll
there's
never
not
feel the
new
same.
TV on. I'll watch anything that comes out from HBO. I watched all of like White Lotus or whatever, and I watched even like the new season of Gossip Girl. I've never seen Gossip Girl, but I've seen the new Gossip Girl. It's not good.
Have we
That
talked
one
about the
you
flight
watched, girl? I
attendant?
didn't even know that.
The flight attendant's fantastic.
It's so good. Oh, Gabby, watch that. Like, it's
Okay.
so good.
A lot of things on
There's
HBO Max
murder.
I feel like I want to watch. Like that's a good streaming service now. Like
Yeah,
it has a lot of good stuff.
you can always use my account. I don't care.
I have one.
Oh, okay.
So thank you. So thank you for the offer.
I'm always here like, hey, here's my
I
account.
got the
for
goods.
stuff.
Yeah. What's great about those
If you need
seasons is there's like only ever like 8 episodes and that's it. I mean, it's kind of great, kind of terrible because I get to the end, I'm like, where's the rest? But that's nice
It
at
feels
least.
nice though.
Oh,
I like
it's so
Ginny.
good. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're catching up on the new season of Stargirl started, which to date is my favorite, and I've watched a lot of DC shows. And I mean like really got into CW shows, but to me Stargirl is the best DC TV show, like live action. I think it's so good. I think everyone would like it. It's on CW now. Like it's just it's the perfect team dynamic. It's what Titans wishes it could be, but Titans is garbage. But Stargirl, Luke Wilson, it's so good. But we've been watching that, and like, I watch every Netflix or Hulu show as it comes out. Matt, my friend gave me the login for his Apple TV, so I'm gonna watch Ted Lasso because everyone's talking about it.
I want to watch it too, but I'm like, do I really want to get Apple whatever plus
I
now?
don't have Apple TV.
Yeah.
If my friend
I
didn't
don't
give it
have
to
that.
me, I wouldn't. And I'm going to continue to. Oh, this is the wrong shirt. That says "Gay and Tired." I thought I had my Fancy High shirt on.
Also a
I
good
will-
one.
I will continue to try to push on everyone I know. Dimension 20's Fantasy High on Dropout TV because it's for the college humor people, but they play D&D and it's very good. Because I want everybody to watch it and play D&D with me. But I think that's it though. I haven't been reading anything besides what we read for the show. Or like randomly read stuff on like DC Universe or Comixology and I feel like it.
Yeah.
I
I love
get them.
watching your hauls and reads shows. Like,
thank
I feel like I get a lot of like ideas of like what to read, and I put them on my Goodreads, and like I'll look on
Oh, I love
Comixology and see like are they unlimited, like So I like watching those. Like, what are you guys like planning on reading?
Ooh.
When you do that, like
We do need
what
to
do you-
like
like
plan
what
out
are you
our
gonna
next
read in
month
the
that
near
way.
future?
Well, next
Hmm.
week is One Piece, so next month we have not decided.
And we need
Or
to.
we should decide.
We'll probably put some. Comixology Unlimited has some like manga that I know you've talked about, Maddie. So maybe we could do something like that.
I mean, I would gladly reread all of like Kimi wa Petto or like I would love for you to read shit. I'm never gonna remember what it is. Oh no. The person who made Princess Jellyfish. Tokyo Tarareba Girls. It's really good. I would gladly reread it.
Okay.
I have a lot of stuff on my Comixology Unlimited borrows though to read. Like, Juliet Takes a Breath. Can we read that?
Yeah, we
Gabby,
do need to talk about
Do
it.
you want to read Juliet
I'll
Takes a
read
Breath?
it. I'll read it.
I'm
I don't
in.
know what it. I don't have any
my
background.
God.
Or
I've been
anything,
avoiding
but,
it,
like, I'll read
but-
it. I trust you.
It's so good. It's on Comixology Unlimited, and like it's a graphic
based on
novel
a-
version of a novel.
yeah. Based on a
so
YA novel, yeah. That's why I'd been avoiding it because I wanted to read the novel for the past how many years? Just like everything I want to read that I haven't, right?
Oh yeah.
You want to read both? You want to like read both to get the like, full
Ooh.
experience?
You know what?
Ooh. You know what?
No,
do that.
that's what Kristan wanted to do. She's like,
I mean,
oh, well, I didn't read it yet because of the book that I wanted to read. And I was like, oh, do
I
you want to read
love
both? Is that why you
that.
waited?
Chris and I
I
talk
mean,
all the time about how we
whatever you
have
guys want.
actual novels to read,
Me too.
and like
Oh yeah.
we don't because we don't have a show. Like we need a book club where we actually have to read these books that we have. 'Cause
This
we
is a
have
good
mutual
reason.
Books.
Yeah.
We're like, because
Yeah, we
I did
do.
that book of the month thing during the
Yeah.
pandemic.
I'm
and read
still in
nothing.
it. I'm still in
still
it.
in it?
The subscription?
Yes, I am.
Is that like the box? That box
Yes.
with like all
Yeah.
the book goodies?
You
Yeah.
choose the book you want and stuff.
Oh,
and, like,
it's such a good deal. It
Oh.
really is.
Yeah. I have like a lot of like books. I think they'll have like bookmarks and like
Same.
like
I've read a
cute
few.
things.
not this one.
It
It's
comes
just
with a
a book.
bookmark.
it does?
Oh.
Yeah. Every month, Maddie. Come on. Get with it.
I did it for 3
You
months.
can't have a book without a bookmark. I mean,
I need
Maddie,
some fancy bookmarks.
get back into book of the month just so we can talk about what books we're picking every month, and then not read them
No.
together.
I can't. Elliot's gonna
Please.
kill me.
All right,
if I do
fine.
that.
Bye.
Maddie, when are you review Slayer's novel volume 1 with your high dollar wig? Oh man, I do need to get that wig out. It's $300.
Oh my gosh, you need to use it more then.
Like, I do, but I'm waiting until cons happen.
That's fair.
It was a very expensive wig. I don't know when I'm gonna do that, James. Eventually, I've been up for book club. I keep buying books on Kindle, and they collect electronic dust. I know. We need one.
We should do it.
Because I won't read anything without a deadline. And I love reading. I really do.
Okay, Maddie, like once a month or every other month, let's go to my channel. That's where we'll have the book club.
That sounds great.
I'm not doing anything else over there. So
we need the discipline. Like we need to, we plan this. We need to read it. Like we can't read like anything else. Like just focus on it.
I love that.
I'm in.
That's the only way it'll work.
Yeah.
I'll complete the assignment. Like I had to run a book club for work, and I swear to God, I'm the only one who read the book, which was awful. It was a book for like it was like an Asian American book club, so it's learning about like Asian American culture and stuff. And I run the program. I'm not supposed to be the head of it or whatever because I'm not the face of that. But inevitably, I'm the only one who read the book, so I had to leave the book club. I was like, no, this should not be me.
That sucks.
Did they tell you that, or did you like figure it out?
Well, like, I run the program, but I select like somebody else to actually be the face of it. You know what I mean? Like run the book club as far as the discussions. But it just kind of turned out that person would be busy or whatever, and so then it's just me like,
so guys,
hi.
like.
This is not. My boss is like, no, it's fine. I was like, no, it's not. I was going to the Asian American Book Club and seeing this face, like, hi, would you like to talk about Asian American history? No, not for me. But yeah, if someone read it. A book club would be great on that Comic Slayer channel that's gathering electronic dust. I mean,
that's fair, Hayden. Yep.
I mean, technically,
let's do it.
Near Mint Collective is open for things.
Whichever.
Which, if we get to see each other in person, any of us, or at a con, content can be created for that channel if it's not comic book related. So if y'all ever want to talk about something not comic book related, it can all go on there. It doesn't matter.
Beautiful.
It's basically the catch-all. So, like, any of that other stuff can go on there. Real books. Novels, non-fiction books,
real books. Yeah, I feel like I said real books too.
It's hard not to. I feel like that's how I describe it to people because no matter what I do,
a novel, like
yeah.
What are you supposed to say?
Because people don't take it seriously. I'm like, yeah, no, there's a lot of great comic books. They're like, no, we're trying to teach people things. I'm like, oh.
How dare.
You can teach through
such a closed-minded way of thinking.
Yeah.
I know. It makes me really sad. Kristan, you also need to make a video of ongoing Kickstarter comics on your channel. That would be helpful.
I do need to do that. I'm pretty good at finding them.
What to support.
Although I've backed away lately because I'm like, I gotta stop backing stuff. I don't have money for all of this. Yeah. Now it's kind of nice because I've already paid for all that. Yeah. And eventually I'll get presents in the mail. That's how it feels. Like, I forgot I ordered that. So neat present.
Gabby, I wonder if there's like a comic book or like club at your school or something. You could like join and just like, but not like join properly. Just be really like, I know more than you. Like Ron Swanson, like. Please.
Well, you're doing this all wrong. Or just yeah, like I have experience. Like I talk to people online about comics. I don't think you know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what?
Please.
What?
That's the best feeling, though. It feels good.
Like, well, you run it. I'm like, okay.
As like, okay, the stereotype about like women being in comic book shops where it feels awkward is a little outdated, but it still happens. And it still does feel nice in certain spaces where you can be like, it's a little bit of a boost. We're like, ha, you think I know nothing. but actually,
but I know everything.
ugh,
Yeah.
it does feel
So
good.
satisfying.
It's the best.
Like make people's like heads turn.
Yeah, that and board games. Board games is still. It feels like when you're in like a board game club or like a store, it feels very like male dominated. So I can go in and be like, excuse me, I have all of the DC deck building expansions.
Just saying.
Please.
You know what I hate too is like when people say you don't look like you read comics. You don't look like you would like that. How
What's
do
that
I
even
look
mean?
like? What is what does that look like? What does someone who reads comics look like?
Absolutely.
Please tell me.
Yeah,
You
people
know?
are thinking of the stereotype of like,
Or I never would have thought. Like maybe, you know, open your mind a little bit. Like
that's
Yeah.
right. Yep.
right.
Absolutely. Because like in my day to day, you wouldn't know. Like, I'm very curious to hear from other comic fans, people eventually like about like in people's work or like daily life or whatever people know. Because like for me, it's a very separate thing. It's starting to close in a little bit, but like typically very separate. Like you would not know. Not my group. Well, Joe, we know you're cool.
You have to be.
Also, Joe, I'm very like jealous of all of your cool brewery stops recently. I feel like every time I see you post on Facebook, I don't know what that says about you, but I always feel like I see you at a different brewery all the time. It looks so cool.
It's funny.
That was funny.
I like it, Joe. It's cool. Well, I guess it's 10, so we should
Yeah.
like chill. This
You know what
really
else is
fun.
cool?
InStockTrades.com.
That's right. Our great sponsor, which we have to thank because they're lovely, and you can get all your collected editions there for really great prices.
Absolutely. And for fans and friends of the show, Fangirlz Assemble will be back next Sunday talking about One Piece. We're continuing on our read-through. We're reading the first part of Dressrosa. If you're curious about which part we're reading, you can check our Instagram and Twitter. We did write which chapters exactly. And for those of you who like to see me and Gabby again, Gabby will be joining me on Tuesday to talk about sheets and delicates on Oreo New Reader, which is a thing that Chris is going to murder me in my sleep for. Because I made the decision and did not message her because
I was not invited.
I was going to invite you and then I forgot. It's one of those things where I assume that
I've only been wanting you to read sheets for like 100 years now, so I'm glad you're finally doing it.
If anyone could come protect me in my time.
I'm not violent.
Just put it on the schedule for next month. I'll read again.
You know what? We should. I'm
Honestly,
in. Sheets and delicates. We're doing it.
Who cares?
We do it all the time anyway, right?
We really do. The amount of times I've been like, hey, Chris, I'm already reading this for Oreo New Reader, so can we do this? Or like vice versa. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. That's what we do.
Or just read Upgrade Soul again. Hey, Gabby, have you read Upgrade Soul?
Oh my gosh.
No, I have
you
not.
have to.
Oh, man.
You have to.
Is that
I
better?
need like a really long list. Like it's gonna look super long of all the books that everyone's telling me to read.
Is that a better October book, do you think, Kristan?
Yeah, it has creepy vibes, I'd say.
Let's do that. Gabby, do you want to, I know you'll be busy, but do you want to come talk about Upgrade Soul? We'll send you a copy or whatever.
Okay.
It's like a rite of passage now.
Yeah, like I pushed it on Maddie way back in the day, and now Maddie's helping to push it on everyone else. She's spreading the good word.
The author followed me on Twitter because I really do post about it a lot. But don't look up anything about it.
He watched our show on it, right?
Yeah.
Look
up
that's
nothing.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, don't look up a thing.
Yeah.
Who's the author?
Ezra Clayton Daniels. I also have a copy of his other book. Oh no.
Bottom Feeders. I know. I'm looking for mine. I'm like, I thought it was near me. I don't think it is. I can't remember.
Okay, then that means. Oh wait, no, it's right here. Because I have it divided by publisher, kind of. But he also wrote this. I don't actually own Upgrade Soul, so I pre-ordered the deluxe. But he also did this. We could do both, really.
We could. I'd reread that. They're both great.
I will gladly send you a copy. Sounds like your dad might have one, but still.
Is that what is he saying? Did he
He
say
said-
anything in the chat about it? Oh, okay.
Kristen turned into a Tina Fey Mean Girls. I'm a pusher, Katie. I push.
I love that. Yes, that's what I do with books.
Why is it? Is there a Mean Girls comic?
No, I don't think so.
I feel like there should be.
If there is, I don't know about it.
I would love that. Okay, it's going to be 10, whatever. I have to like work tomorrow and work out in the morning. So, well,
Ooh.
yeah, I'm busy, get in shape. I'm trying to be Cass. Really, is what it is.
You're gonna
Me
kill it.
too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Thank you, Ray and chat, for hanging out, and Gabby, thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Of course, I'll be on anytime you guys want me to.
Oh, we're gonna make you do it all the time then.
We will abuse
Oh,
that.
I would love it. I would love it.
Everybody have a good night. Check out InsiderTrades.com, and we'll see you next week.